As you know, the City of Calgary is a large public service organization, and as part of that, of course, we have to make sure that we understand how the substance use policy guides us when substances we use may affect our ability to do our work safely. So examples of when this substance use policy would imply: if you drink alcohol beverages before or during work hours, this may affect your fitness for work. Being unfit for work as a result of being under the influence of intoxicating, hallucinogenic, or mind-altering substances. Let's say you're taking prescription drugs that may have a side effect and could affect your ability to do your job. And lastly, when you get a driving suspension outside of work and your role at the city requires you to drive. If you're ever in a situation like this and you're just unsure of whether the use of substances might impair your ability to do your job, just pause, check with your leader or supervisor, talk with an HR specialist, a human resource specialist, or talk to your union, just to ensure that what we do every day is really about providing that safe public service that protects and ensures the responsibility and protection not only of ourselves, but also the people we work with and our citizens.
The substance use policy outlines the City of Calgary's expectations and processes regarding the use of legal and illegal substances that impact an employee's ability to perform their work safely and effectively. That isn't necessarily true. Employees who hold safety-sensitive positions cannot be under any degree of influence from intoxicating, hallucinogenic, or mind-altering substances. Employees who do not hold safety-sensitive positions may be able to go out for lunch and have one alcoholic beverage as long as they remain fit for work. Although it might be okay for one employee to have an alcoholic beverage at lunch, the same might not be okay for another. So it's important to exercise sound judgment. The City of Calgary doesn't have a corporate policy that prohibits the use of alcohol during your lunch break. However, your business unit might. As a municipal government employee, it's important that we exercise responsible behavior. If you're unsure how this policy applies to you, please contact your Human Resources Advisor. Respect an employee's time off is their own. That being said, your duty as an employee doesn't stop when you clock out for the day. If you're engaging in off-duty conduct that can impact your ability to perform your work safely and effectively, we may have an interest in your activities. Similarly, if you're engaging in off-duty conduct that could potentially impact the reputation of the city may be required to investigate. Absolutely. Many prescriptions have a multitude of side effects that can impact your ability to perform your work and potentially impact the well-being of others. For employees who hold safety-sensitive positions, you can't be under any degree of influence from intoxicating, hallucinogenic, or mind-altering substances, which include prescription medication. For employees who don't hold safety-sensitive positions, you must still remain fit for work. So the question you need to ask yourself is, does my prescription medication impact my ability to safely and effectively perform my job? In both these scenarios, it's important to notify your supervisor of your concerns and that you're taking prescription medication. The City of Calgary will work with you to determine whether you need to be assigned different work while taking your prescription medication. Well, it depends. If you don't require a city operator's permit to do your job, then there's no obligation to disclose the suspension to your supervisor. However, if you do require a city operator's permit to perform your work, then it is required that you notify your supervisor of the 24-hour suspension.